well, we'll destroy it. Whatever. We're not using them, yeah. We'll talk afterwards. Check, check, good, testing, 1, 2, 3. Surprise switch today. We're going to use this. So let me take that out.
12, the name is between now and February of those. February 2025. 12.
Give me back.
Wow. 2.5 years. 2.5 years.
So this will be what we're using?
What?
And this is what we're going to use on Rosh Hashanah, and much to my surprise, we're using it this morning.
Alright. So, hopefully after that, it will pick up. I might be too old to teach.
Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, page 110. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani berov chasdecha avovetecha eshtachaveh el heichal kodshecha be'yiratecha. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Adonai ahavti me'on beitecha, umkom mishkan kevodecha. Va'ani eshtachaveh ve'echra'a evrecha lifnei Adonai osi. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim berov chasdecha aneni be'emet yish'echa. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome to our Shabbat morning service. Excuse me. So for those of you who are with us online and may or may not have seen the chat, and for those of you who are here for that matter, we're actually using our new Mishkan HaNefesh Machzor for Rosh Hashanah. Basically, the only difference between a Machzor and a Sidor is that the Machzor has all the high holiday stuff in it, in addition to all the stuff that your regular average Sidor also has. So it's not a problem using the Machzor as a Sidor. It can be challenging using the Sidor as a Machzor if you if you don't know all the prayers by heart and that kind of thing. Like every Chanukia is a menorah, but not every menorah is a Chanukia. So it's another example. So here's this book that we're all going to become familiar with, and I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to hold it in your hands and use it and kind of feel comfortable, get to feel more comfortable with it. A couple of things about the prayers themselves. For those of you who have been to the sessions that I've taught or have experience with the book before, there are some additions to certain prayers that are specifically added in because it's the High Holy Days. Since today is not a High Holy Day, it is just Shabbat. We won't add in those. We'll skip over those. For example, just as an example to give you a sense, if you have a book in your hand and you turn to page, 182. Nope, I was wrong again. 188, I believe. Wow, I'm messing up all over the place. I don't know the page numbers yet, so I apologize. 180. Oh, you know why? Because it's not in the 80s. It's 168. That's right. 168. So on 168, and for those of you with the PDF, I'll remind you that the page numbers refer to the page numbers of the book, not of the PDF, because there are not 168 pages in the PDF. But if you look at in the long Hebrew at the top, those next to the last 4 lines, they're separated out. They're hard to tell for some people, but they're kind of gray, a little shaded, bolded. It's a different font. They're also separated out by an extra little bit of space. That's an addition specifically for the High Holy Days, so we won't do that part. You may recognize the choir goes, Zochreinu lechaim, melech hafetz b'chaim. Anyway, so that's a High Holiday edition. So we'll omit the High Holiday editions. But also know that this book is a newer version of Reform movement prayer, and for a number of different reasons. If you look at the 6th line down in the Hebrew on page 168, you may notice that the women's names in this particular line are reversed. We usually say Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel. And that's because when we first started adding in women's names in the 70s, we added them in order of when they got married. It was a chronological thing. And then theologically, there was this discussion about, well, you know what? Rachel was more important and more loved, and it's through Rachel that all kinds of stuff. So they switched Rachel to Leah, not because it rhymes better, like some people think, but there's a lot of different things like that. So, oh, and she's closer to God. There. Oh, that's true. Leah, Ha'el. Interesting. So there are a lot of little discussions that went on behind these big changes, for some big changes. So those little things are, you'll notice them as we go along. But for the most part, it's really just the same prayers, just a different book, and we'll be skipping around a lot because we'll be omitting the High Holiday parts. So we just did our opening song. I want to welcome our Bima guest in the sanctuary. Our Bima guest in the sanctuary. Oh, Cheryl Barra-Shirley, that's right. See, he slips out of the sanctuary for a second just to make sure people can come in. Out of sight, out of mind. Sorry about that, Cheryl. Cheryl Barra-Shirley is our Bima guest this morning. So thank you to Cheryl, and we'll hear from her in a little while. But now, at least at this point, we'll continue on page 109, 109, and again goes by the page numbers in the book, not the PDF file. Oh, and for those of you using the PDF file, I will apologize in advance. There are a couple of pages towards the beginning that are upside down. Sorry for that. And then one page, the Shema that we get to, I didn't do the full spread. I did one page at a time, so I only got half, but it's not like, you'll see. But you know the Shema, right? So anyway, let's continue. Page 109. I have awakened again, and I give thanks. Before me, the blessing of this day, a feast of choices and possibilities. And the breath within me says, great is your faithfulness. You offer me another chance. You offer me life. This day I am created to create this day. Page 112. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, supreme power of the universe. you sanctify our lives with mitzvot and give us the sacred obligations of learning and living Torah. O God, eternal, let us taste the sweetness of your Torah's words, and let them give pleasure to your people, the house of Israel, so that we, our children, and all generations of Israel to come shall know your name and study your Torah for its own sake. Baruch atah Adonai, hamelamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who instructs your people Israel in the ways of Torah. Page 115. Elu divarim she'ein lahem shior. Elu divarim she'ein lahem shior. Elu divarim she'ein lahem shior. Ve'elu hein kibud avaim. Ugmilud chasadim. Vehashkamat Beit Hamidrash Shacharit ve'arvit. Elu divarim she'ein lahem shior. Elu divarim she'ein lahem shior. Elu divarim she'ein lahem shior. Ve'elu hein ve'hachnasat orchim. Uvikur cholim v'hachnasat kala ulvayat hamet v'iyun tfilah v'havaat shalom bein adam lachavero. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam. V'talmud Torah keneged kulam, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam, v'talmud Torah keneged kulam. Some mitzvot sustain us not only in this world, but also in the world to come. They are honoring our parents, acting with kindness and loyalty, eagerly pursuing Jewish learning at all times, welcoming guests, visiting the sick, rejoicing with couples under the chuppah, caring for the dead and mourners, delving deeply into prayer, making peace among human beings, and the study of Torah. This is the cornerstone. Yeah, page 120. Page 120. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhmah uvaravo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui ve'yadua lifnei chisei chvodecha she'im ipateach echad mehem o yisatem echad mehem Efshar lehidkayem v'la'amod lefanecha. Blessed are you, Holy One, who has formed the human body with wisdom, an intricate network of channels, vessels, and openings. This wondrous structure and the flow of life within us allows us to serve you and give thanks. Let us cherish this gift of flesh and blood, honor it as God's creation. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot. We praise you, Holy One, for wondrous acts of creation and healing. Page 122. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, neshama, shenatata bi tehorahi. Ata virata, ata yitzarta, ata nefachta bi. Ve'ata mishamra bekirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi tehorahi. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biyado nefesh kol chai, veruach kol basar ish. We give you praise, Adonai. All life is in your hand, and in your care, the soul of every human being. Page 124. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasech vivina lehavchin bein yom uvein laila. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gave the mind discernment to distinguish light from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power opens eyes that cannot see. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power brings freedom to the captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power spreads the land upon the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa li kol tzarchi. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power has made all I need. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives firmness to our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanotein laya'ef koach. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir sheina me'enai utnuma me'afapai. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power removes sleep from my eyes, slumber from my eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tselem Elohim. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power endowed me with human freedom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power has made me Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power gives strength to Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. You are the source of blessings, Adonai. Your great power crowns Yisrael with glory. Excuse me. Page 141. 141. Hitgadal v'hitgadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala, uv'izman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach, le'alam ula'almei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yit'aleh, v'yithalal, shemei dekudasha, barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. In body, mind, or spirit, please rise for the Baruch Hu, page 142. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Excuse me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha v'rachamim uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chochma asita Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'ore or she'asita, yefa'arucha selah, or chadash al tzion ta'ir, v'nizkechu lanu mehera le'oro, baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'ma'orot. Our praise to you, Adonai, creator of the cosmic lights. Page 146. Together, love abundant, love unstinting. Our God, you have enfolded us in love. Tender compassion beyond all bounds, your precious gift. Our fathers and mothers gave you their trust, and you gave them Torah, laws by which to live. For their sake, teach us as well. Grace us with your guidance. Loving Father, merciful Mother of us all, grant us clear understanding that we may listen, learn, and teach, preserve, practice, and fulfill with love every lesson of your Torah. May learning your Torah light up our eyes. May our hearts embrace your mitzvot. Unite us in love and reverence for you, that we may never feel ashamed of our deeds. We have trusted in your great and holy name. Now let us celebrate at last the joy of your salvation. Bring us peace from the four corners of the earth. Lead us with upright pride to the land that is ours. For you are a God of miracles and wonders. From all the peoples of the earth you sought us out and brought us near to your great enduring truth. So with love we acknowledge and proclaim that you are one. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'amo Yisrael b'ahava. Our praise to you, Adonai, you have singled out your people Israel with love. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Page 152. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadivarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shiftecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot ben einecha, Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvish'arecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lichyot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet Adonai your God is true. Page 161. The beginning of your word is truth. If you exist at all, I know you can't abide hypocrisy. And most of all, you don't want prayers that lie. You'd rather get an honest fight than strings of empty platitudes. So I can't pretend or hide in pious phrases given to me by the past. It's hard to speak my own imperfect truth. In fact, the more I say, the less I seem to know, and the farther away I get from you, whatever you might be. I've heard that what you really want is not more words. You want the heart. That might be more than I can give, but I can try. From Egypt you redeemed us, Adonai our God, and from the slave house you set us free. For this, the people who felt your love exalted you, and the ones whom you found precious sang hymns of praise, blessings, and thanks to the living God who reigns forever, high and exalted, inspiring wonder, who humbles the proud and raises the lowly, who frees the captive, redeems the oppressed, and sustains the poor. God responds to the cry of our people, their prayer in time of need. Sing praise to God Most High, most blessed source of blessing, as Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang this joyous song to you. Page 164. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osei fele, nora tehilot osei fele. Shira chadasha, shibchu geulim, Leshimcha al sfat hayam, yachad kulam hodu v'himlichu v'amru, Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch, leolam va'ed. Tzor Yisrael, kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, Ufdei chinumecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzivaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael. In body, mind, or spirit, please rise, page 166. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekoneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. Page 184. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You may be seated. We continue on page 209. 209. Together. Eternal our God, your people Israel yearns for your favor. Receive their prayer with loving acceptance, and may you always desire your people's worship. Divine One, close to all who call upon you, bring your grace and presence near to those who serve you. Pour forth your Spirit on us, and may our eyes see your merciful return to Zion. Baruch Ata Adonai, Hamachazir Shechinato Letzion. Blessed are you whose divine presence is felt again in Zion. Page 210, we've come to our Hoda'ah prayer, our prayer of thanksgiving. So we take a moment now to give thanks and to consider that for which we have to give thanks. And so if you are feeling particularly blessed or have something you'd like to share so that we can feel blessed along with you, please do share. I'll start. I'll go with a couple of things. One, I'm really glad that we can hold these new books in our hand and actually use them. We've been talking about them for years, and many of us have experienced some version of this particular prayer book in other congregations and other places, and it's nice to be able to experience different things even in our own sanctuary. And there will be a time where this won't be so different for a lot of people anymore in our own sanctuary, but it's nice to be able to use them. Very thankful and grateful also for all the people who made sure that it could happen and did happen, and so it's really exciting. And a lot of people spent time putting in all the book plates inside for all the ones that were donated. People made donations in honor of people, in memory of people, and so it's really just wonderful for all around for the experience of using the book. And then on another personal note, it was nice. My friends and their daughter, my niece, she's in from Florida, but they're really from California. But he and I grew up in New Jersey. That's another story. And she's competing in ice dancing this weekend. It's a qualifying round over in Ardmore. So I got to see her dance last night, and I'm going to go watch some more ice dancing competition this afternoon. So it's really great. My dad, may he rest in peace, he loved watching ice dancing, all sorts of ice skating, but ice dancing especially. And he would sit in his bedroom on a chair pulled up in front of the TV, and even if it was like recorded, you know, he would stand up and applaud. I'm like, Dad, it's a recording. He's like, I know, but they're doing a good job. They deserve the applause. So it was amazing. He just so got into it. So it's really nice to see it live. First time I've ever seen that ice dancing live, and so it was really awesome. And someone I knew. They're a couple. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Apparently there are more women available to do ice dancing pairs than men. So the men like audition women to see who they want to pick as their partner. So yeah, it's pretty. Please. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So you've seen it.
Oh yeah, we follow pretty close.
Oh, cool. Really? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So she did singles until she was 18, and then she went to Paris. So. No, my niece. Yeah. So when I used to watch her practice as a kid, when I would be out in California, she was out there, and
That's usually the way it works. They all start at the same place.
And then apparently I was hearing from my friend that there are ways you can tell how long someone's been working together and how long someone's been in the sing, based on how far they bend their knees or how close together they are when they're dancing. It's pretty cool, like all these little subtle nuances. But anyway, it's very exciting, so it was nice. Yeah. So for all our blessings that we heard out loud, and for other blessings that may remain in our own hearts and minds, we share this prayer of thanksgiving together on page 210. God who is ours, God of all generations, to you we are grateful forever. Rock and protector of our lives, your saving power endures from age to age. We thank you and tell the tale of your praise, your power in our lives, your caring for our souls, the constant miracle of your kindness. Morning, noon, and night, we call you goodness, for your compassion never ends. We call you mercy, for your love has no limit. We call you hope, now and for all time. And for all these gifts, God of majesty, may your name come to be blessed and praised. Our gratitude a daily offering until the end of time. Inscribe your covenant partners for a life of goodness, and may all life resound with gratitude and faith in praise of your name. Oh, I included the holiday. It's all good, right? Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'el lehodot. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose goodness deserves thanks and praise. I can notice the difference easier in Hebrew than I can in English. So Yeah, well, it's a different book, but that's another discussion. So we now continue on page 217, and some of you have noticed that there are those of you who are familiar with the book already knew, and those of you who have been to different sessions, that some pages are shaded gray, some pages are shaded blue. The shaded gray pages are offered as alternative interpretations, alternative translations on the prayers, often used as substitutes for the traditional prayer on the not shaded side of the page. And then the blue pages are meant to be opportunities for study and more kind of information about the prayers, and not always used as readings, although there will be a number of times during the High Holidays where I will be using them as kind of a reading to help people understand more about the prayer. But they tend to be more for intended for study and for information as opposed to the prayer itself. Although, as you'll see, because of the way we'll be using it, that we can use it however we want, and that's the beauty of it. Right, so that's why I said just suggestions, and and so you'll see that we use them in different ways as we go through the High Holy Days. So we continue on page 217. Let the pursuit of peace and justice be our highest good, and may all people make peace their responsibility. Let Torah be a light that guides our lives toward empathy and understanding, toward generosity of heart. Let peace be our passion, chief among our prayers, every season of the year, every hour of the day. Baruch atah Adonai, oseh hashalom. You are the Blessed One, eternal source of shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, 216. Chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, sim shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, sim shalom. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Sim shalom tova uvracha, sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Page 245. We take a moment now to consider those in our families, our circle of friends, our congregation, our community at large, people who are in need of healing and in need of prayers for healing. Their lives are incomplete in one way or another. They are searching for a sense of wholeness, of shlemut. So they look to us for prayers on their behalf. We think of those who care for those in need of healing, wishing for them skill and insight and wisdom. We think of those who care about those in need of healing, wishing for them endurance and courage and strength. We think especially this week of those from our congregational family: Bill Bly, Gaylord Conquest, Barbara Foreman, Marvin Fuchs, Jean Kamens, Ruth Kravitz, Steve Matzner, Lois Miller, John Rose, Bill Schneider, Jackie Student, Velvel Ben Avraham, Pete Walsh. If you are thinking of someone who is in need of healing and in need of prayers for healing, they would like for their name to be shared at this moment, please share it with us. As we think of all the people who are, whose names we've heard out loud and perhaps whose names may remain in our own hearts and minds, we share this prayer of healing at the top of page 245, after which we will continue with silent prayer, and we'll meet up again on page 220 in a few moments after we sing our prayer. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak ve'Yaakov Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the vision for tomorrow. Help us to reach out to those in pain. May the warmth of friendship ease our sorrow. Give us courage, give us faith, show us the way. Mi sheberach avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, ve'Yaakov. Mi sheberach imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi, imrefi, vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, vegoali, vegoali, yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi, imrefi, vehegyon libi lefanecha. Adonai tzuri, Adonai tzuri, vegoali, vegoali. So there is a lot in this book to discover and explore. Some things are familiar, just presented in ways that are not familiar, and at least to us when we first encounter them. And some are not at all familiar, and so we're kind of looking around to kind of see what there is to explore and what there is to kind of notice in this book. And so let me just make sure I know where we're going next. Okay, so that's where we're going next. But for now, let's talk a little bit about something. We'll tap into one of those blue pages on page 117. Page 117. So this is a piece that comes from the Mishnah Torah, which was put together by Maimonides, a medieval physician and rabbi. I always say he made his parents doubly proud. And this particular piece comes from the section called Laws of Repentance. And I just thought it was an interesting concept. It kind of makes reference to other interesting concepts. And I thought we'd just kind of talk about our impressions, our feelings. This page is in the PDF file for those of you who are online. Page 117, it's got a blue background. And if it's upside down, I apologize. Just turn your monitor over. So it says, all year we should see ourselves as though we are equally balanced between merit and guilt. And similarly, we should see the entire world as equally balanced between merit and guilt. One moral failure can tip the scales for us and for the whole world toward the side of culpability, leading to destruction. But doing one mitzvah can tip the scales for us and for the whole world toward the side of merit, leading to redemption and deliverance for ourselves and for others. So the book of Proverbs teaches, a righteous person is the foundation of the world. That is, a person who has done what is right has tipped the balance for the entire world toward merit and saved it. And because of this, it is Jewish practice to give tzedakah generously, to increase acts of goodness, and to focus on performing mitzvot from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur more so than during the rest of the year. Quite a responsibility. That's so interesting that you see that. How did you talk about this feeling of responsibility right off the bat?
If I do one good thing, I can save the whole world. I mean, that's
It's so good for you. Not just take any credit for it, but I gave a donation to an organization that feeds people. And I got a thank you note saying that they hadn't had any eggs and milk for weeks because they're hard to get and they're expensive. And that we, from our donation, fed 100 people eggs and milk this week.
Wow.
So it does make the world better.
Right.
In little ways and then in big ways.
Right. Right. So there are myriad ways to see this, but one right off the bat, oh my gosh, what an awesome responsibility I have. And then another is what a great opportunity I have. All I have to do is one thing and the whole world can be saved. And maybe they're not mutually exclusive.
100 words.
Maybe for a short period of time, but we all have to do it.
Right, but it says elsewhere in our writings, right? Save one life. It's as if you save the entire world. So 100 worlds. Yeah. Maybe like I said, they're not mutually exclusive. That it is a great gift of an opportunity to do something, and also what a great responsibility it is. And sometimes perhaps we get caught up in the concept of it being a responsibility that we're kind of frozen, and we don't act because we think it too big to do. That's where we get lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, right? It's not your responsibility to finish doing it, but you're not free to stop doing it just because it's a big job, right? And That's one thing. The other thing is, one little act, can also put you in the mindset of doing another little act that may continue, right? That's mitzvah goreret mitzvah.
There'll be more donations during the year.
There you go. Mitzvah goreret mitzvah, avera goreret avera. Doing a mitzvah puts you on that path in that kind of mindset of doing mitzvahs. And so you're going to more likely do another one next, and it can continue. Do an avera, doing something that's offensive in some way. We may fall down this slippery slope, and we may put ourselves in the kind of mindset of I'm just continue, or get caught up in something that we can't stop necessarily right away. So that concept of how we act can affect how we act next. Yeah. Then the idea of if we look at it as too huge a responsibility, and it freezes us. There's another saying that says, "Kol ha'olam kulo," the entire world, gesher tsar ma'od, is a very narrow bridge. V'ha'ikar, and the most important thing to remember, lo lefached klal, don't be afraid. That's a misquote. That's not what it says. The first person who translated or got caught up, whatever, that's not exactly what it says. It doesn't say lo lefached klal, don't be afraid. It says lo lehipached klal, do not be frozen with fear. Don't let the fear get you. Right? When I talk to B'nai Mitzvah before the service, I always say, I personally, because a lot of kids are nervous, some more than others, and some kids feel kind of self-conscious about it, and it kind of freezes them. And I always say, listen, I personally have never, ever, ever, ever led a service without feeling nervous. And the only reason why is because I'm aware that what I'm about to do is significant and can be very meaningful and impactful for me, for others. It can be a profound experience. And that's a great responsibility. And so I feel that. I say, ask any tightrope walker before they get on the tightrope if they're nervous. And if they tell you no, either they're lying and or they're going to fall because they don't realize the enormity of the task they're about to complete. Now, if they get frozen with fear, the hipached, then they can't walk across the rope, or they may not be paying attention to the rope, or they may be thinking about other things and completely get lost in it, and then it paralyzes them. And it's not their fault necessarily, it's not a bad thing, but it's to remind us that when we feel that nervousness, it's very simply at its core an awareness of the potential significance of what we're about to do, and the responsibility that we have, and the gift that we have to make some experience for others felt and noted. And so that's huge. And if we use that energy, that nervous energy, to propel us forward, then we can achieve all sorts of things. And so this one passage, just when I first read it, just spoke to me about so many other different things to see. Now another line from the Talmud is I think it's from the Talmud. I'm pretty sure it's from the Talmud. Everyone should always walk around with two little pieces of paper in their pockets, one in each pocket, and one should say, "For my sake was the entire world created," and the other one should say, "I am nothing but dust and ashes." I imagine it is. Yeah, I imagine it would be, and because they're both true at the same time. Right? We talk about, when someone dies, we're buried into the ground without any kind of preservation, without any kind of, encasing. It's directly into the ground in a simple white shroud. The body, is just a vehicle for the soul to use. Right? So we're nothing but dust and ashes when we come down to it. But we have the power to, the ability to really affect the entire world. And so that's a huge responsibility. And we can make, some, and even if it's but also affecting someone in a positive way can help them then, move forward in some positive way and affect others as well. Well, so,
But they get up from
Put some, even though they're not.
and having fear and being frozen by fear or with fear are two different things. So it's possible that, you know, a young child, you know, sees whatever, that there's something that's potentially dangerous, but is so confident or so like, oh well, you know, if it happens, and isn't discounting the fear, but is kind of more motivated by the, you know, whatever else may be kind of pushing them forward. So, you know, some kids just have no clue, you know. Oh, look, there's a shiny red thing in the kitchen. I'll touch it. Oh, that's a stove. I just burned myself. Right? So they just don't even know. Some adults, yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting dichotomy. So anyway, so this one paragraph just I just saw this this is a hub of a wheel, and I just saw spokes going out with all these different references to other lines. So I thought we'd talk about it for a moment. So one thing that no one's afraid of is piling on all the things and all the opportunities that we have here to get together and worship together and be together. And so I'm going to invite Cheryl Barish-Ehrlich up to share with us a whole litany, as it were, of opportunities we have to do just that, to come together in community, to share time with each other. Oh, you got it? This microphone, yes. In fact. Yep.
Let's see if I have a signal. Looking good. I'm gonna take that one.
All right.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, one.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
And
shalom.
so powerful to hear that our discussion, because I live in the world of people who do mitzvot in my work at Hebrew Free Loan, and I'm surrounded by people who are in need, and there's people stepping up not only to work with them, to help them find the path, but people to support them and to be guarantors to support them so they can get that path. So it's very humbling to live in that world and to work with people who are doing this incredible job, and then to hear the feedback of these borrowers. So I know how powerful, and that's exactly where I went with, what are we doing? You know, people who can do, and how it changes the world. We don't know who you're helping today, that it's going to make their whole path completely change. So it's wonderful to be Jewish at this time of year, especially because we reflect on these things. So I find it very powerful. And with that, I'd like to share some announcements from our synagogue. We have so much is happening because of the High Holy Days. So let me share this with you. We'll start with tonight, Rabbi, is there still a Brady event at 7 o'clock? Or
Oh
has
yeah,
that changed?
the tie-dye washed up, and I was getting the tie-dye ready yesterday. We've got Mission Barbecue and all kinds of stuff, so it'll be exciting. Yeah.
That'll be exciting. Tomorrow, September 25th at 9 a.m. religious school, no confirmation class. And 7:30 p.m. Rosh Hashanah Erev evening service, followed by a music program that'll be in person only. Monday, September 26th at 9 a.m. Rosh Hashanah children's service, and that's for families with children second grade and younger. 10:15 in the morning, a Rosh Hashanah morning service will begin. 1 o'clock Tashlik picnic at Norristown Farm Park, so it's bring your own food and be with us for 2 p.m. the Tashlik service. Tuesday, September 27th, 10 a.m. Rosh Hashanah second day service, in person only. We could be outside, weather permitting. Wednesday, September 28th, 7:30 a.m. morning minyan will be Zoom only. Thursday, September 29th, noon Torah study will be in person and on Zoom. The following week, Kol Nidre will be Tuesday, October 4th, followed by Yom Kippur on Wednesday, October 5th. Hold the date for our artist in residence, November 4th through the 6th. Kol Beseder, Rabbi Daniel Freelander, cantor Jeff Klepper, forefront of the contemporary Jewish music, and I can attest to that. They are wonderful. So we have a weekend of song and celebration. Please look for information about the services on the back of your high holiday card, your ticket that was sent to you. If you have any questions, please call the office if you want to be with us. We'll find out how we can help you in that respect. We are celebrating our 50th anniversary, so there's going to be a journal and information to be a part of that celebration. In that journal is also included. And for those of you who are looking to enhance your garden, the Sisterhood Fall Flower Bulb fundraiser, the orders are due by October 15th, and the details are in the newsletter and in weekly announcements. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Cheryl. And that weekend that Cheryl mentioned, the first weekend of November, that Saturday night, there will be a concert. The guys, excuse me, Rabbi Freelander and Cantor Klepper will be doing a concert for us, a fundraising concert. It'll be held at the Upper Merion Area Middle School, open to the community. Tell your friends, wake the neighbors, phone the kids, and also, if you have plans, obviously cancel them and be here with us, at the middle school anyway. So it's a great opportunity for us to be together. So at this point, we're going to continue on page, I forgot what page, so let me go look at the last page we were on, because that's where I wrote down where the next page is. I remember the last page we were on. I don't remember. Page 286. Page 286. And I'll ask in body, mind, or spirit, please rise as you are able. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום וחשבותה אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated, page 290. If I can let you go, as trees let go their leaves, so casually, one by one, if I can come to know what they do know, that fall is the release, the consummation, then fear of time and the uncertain fruit would not distemper the great lucid skies, this strangest autumn, mellow and acute. If I can take the dark with open eyes and call it seasonal, not harsh or strange, for love itself may need a time of sleep, and, tree-like, stand unmoved before the change. Lose what I lose to keep what I can keep, the strong root still alive under the snow, love will endure if I can let you go. This is the period of Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning for Laura Osro, stepmother of Lois Snyder. And it's also the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning for Norman D'Souza, congregant in his own right, and also the father of Mark D'Souza and the grandfather of Eric D'Souza and of Theo D'Souza. And the following yahrzeits will be observed at some point during the coming week. This Shabbat, we remember Laura Eisenwasser, mother of Sherry Frank, Rebecca Krieger, mother of Sandra Singer, Gladys Rosenfeld, mother of Fred Rosenfeld, and Catherine Geller, grandmother of Steve Rosenblum, Alfred Rickey, grandfather of Tom Leidick, Sylvia Bly, mother of Bill Bly, Joseph Asbel, father of Hannah Burnham, Paul Garnick, father of Michael Garnick, Stacy Berger, mother of Mark Berger, George Siegel, father of Lois Neft, George Drucker, father of Ron Drucker, Morris Libov, uncle of Sharon Weinberg, Joseph Breskman, father of David Breskman. If you are thinking of someone, remembering someone whose name was not mentioned, and you would like for their name to be shared with us, please do that. In this moment of memory, our griefs and our sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we praise your name by affirming the lives that we must continue to live, enriched by the memories and blessings left to us by those who have died. We turn now to page 292. In body, mind, or spirit, please rise for Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, this prayer about life. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv, ve'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam u'la'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudasha barichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. As together we say, Amen. You may be seated. Our closing song can be found on page 296. 296. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishtabach nimtza ve'ein eid el mitziuto echad ve'ein yachid keyichudo nelam v'gam ein sof le'achduto ein lo demut haguf ve'eino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kadmon lechol davar asher nivra rishon ve'ein reshit lereshito hino adon olam lechol notzar yoreh gedulato umalchuto shefan nevuato netano el anshe segulato vetif arto lo kam b'Yisrael kemo she'od navi umabid et temunato Torat emet natan le'amo el al yad nevio neman beito lo yachalif ha'el velo yamir dato le'olamim lezulato Sofe v'yodea sitarenu mabit lesof davar bekadmato Gomel le'ish chesed kemif alo noten l'rashara kerishato Yishlach leketz yamin meshichenu lifdot meketz Yeshuato chaye olam nata b'tochenu Baruch adei ad shem tehilato chaye olam nata b'tochenu Baruch adei ad shem tehilato. And for morning Kiddush, I call Cheryl Barish Ehrlich, and I stop at the closing song. I didn't even go on. So we'll sing it because we know it. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, od hi leolam, od hi leolam. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat, l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Al kain berach Adonai et yom ha-Shabbat vayikadshehu. Therefore, the Eternal One blessed the seventh day and called it holy. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen l'chaim. And wild guess under the challah cover. Oh.
Could be a challah.
Still a challah, but not homemade by Karim.
Maybe Leah will come up and help.
Yeah.
Would
Leah, you want it?
Would you be comfortable coming up and helping?
Do a motzi? You can say no.
It's your per.
Moses,
We're going to do it together. Ready?
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Thank you very much, Cheryl. Thank you, Leah. Thank you to everyone, Kareen and Lois, everyone who's here, everyone who joined us online. I've got the camera with the light on. Thank you for being here with us. And Shabbat Shalom. We'll see everybody tomorrow evening. Shabbat Shalom.